Salutations, cyberspace. In today's Let's Draw episode, we're going to be drawing a superhero cartoon in the early 2000s that I revisited recently and fell in love with, and that's Static Shock. So I'll be drawing Virgil Hawkins, our main man, in this speed paint, along with my own original character, because just like Amulet, this cartoon has really inspired me. So let's get to the drawing. So as a cartoon fan, I've heard of Static Shock, the cartoon, and it kind of fits up my alley of like 90s, early 2000s, and even 80s cartoons, but I actually got around watching it, and it's easily one of the most fun cartoons I've ever watched, and Virgil Hawkins is easily one of my most favorite fictional characters ever, probably my favorite, because I don't know, man, I just see so much of myself in him. He has some of the rizziest one-liners and comebacks ever, and he just oozes with early 2000s riz, and so much so to where you forget he's supposed to be a weird black nerdy guy who likes reading comic books and listening to music. Oh my god, I and Virgil Hawkins have so much in common. That's probably why I like him so much. But seriously, it's just nice that a black male character is being portrayed as a nerd, and I'm pretty sure the black nerds in the early 2000s like that idea of a black nerdy character being a main character of a cartoon, because even now, black men, when it comes to our representation, rather it be animation or real life TV and movies, we're either the thug or the athlete. So it's nice getting a little representation of the nerdy guys and nerdy black girls, because his crush is Daisy. And Daisy is a character he meets later in the show after he goes to like a STEM school. And y'all, is this Penny Proud in disguise? Is this a crossover that I've never heard of? A Static Shock and Proud family? Okay, I'm tripping out too hard, y'all. I love this cartoon. What way to express your love for a cartoon that you have fallen for other than to draw fan art of it? So I'll have Static Shock or Virgil Hawkins. It's the same guy. I'll have him on his little hoverboard, flashing his electrical powers. You see a lot of that type of art of him in his comic covers and fans drawing him as well. So I'm going to do the same, and I'm going to have him beside my main original character, Olimar, because coming across this cartoon has sparked some creativity in me and helped me finalize Olimar's design. And both of them are going to be just chilling in the night sky, showing off their electrical riz. And I'm just going to gush over Static Shock a little bit more. So in season 2, episode 1, the Joker comes to Static's fictional town of Dakota City to rally up all the antagonists of the show up to that point to mess around and start S. And so Batman and Robin have to come in to find the Joker, and they have to team up with Static to catch him. So Virgil Hawkins plays with the big boys, everybody. And now thinking about it, for those who don't know, Virgil ended up getting his powers during a little accident because some type of mutant gas ended up going out of a tank that was dropped during a little gang fight. And yeah, I know it's a lot. Watch the cartoon to find out how he got there, but he was exposed to that gas, and that's how he got his electrical powers. And now that I mentioned mutant gas that created mutated humans, or metahumans as they call it in the show, Static Shock and TMNT should absolutely cross over. At this point, Virgil Hawkins is a mutant just like the Ninja Turtles, not to the same degree, but you know. So Nickelodeon or Paramount Pictures or whoever owns TMNT, hit up DC and make that crossover show or comic. I will absolutely buy it. I've already bought the TMNT Naruto crossover. Okay, everyone watching this video, take a seat and listen to my pitch for a TMNT Static Shock crossover. Okay, so Static Shock or Virgil Hawkins, they're the same guy, lives in Dakota City. Dakota City isn't real, so we can just say he lives in New York City. And Dakota City in the cartoon seems to be very urbanized and, you know, gives big city urban vibes, so it won't be too much of a jump. Virgil lives in New York City now. He gets exposed to mutagen gas just like he does in the cartoon, but that mutagen gas is a byproduct of the mutagen ooze that exists and creates the Turtles and Splinter. And then he ends up going on one of his patrols as Static Shock on this hoverboard and ends up running into the Turtles somehow, because both Static and the Turtles do a lot of their bidding in the nighttime. And so Virgil has that April O'Neil moment of, oh my god, they're talking turtles. And then once he gets over that initial shock, he ends up talking to the turtles. They hang out and are friends, and he ends up discovering that his powers, along with the turtles' mutant existence come from the same place, the mutagen ooze. And so they tried to find out who's behind the mutant ooze and why it was there. And that ends up piquing the eyes of the beta humans of Static Shock that are the antagonist of Virgil, along with the Shredder and his Foot Clan, who also want to know where the mutant ooze comes from. And so, yeah, that is my pitch for a potential crossover, but let's just be honest, I don't think that's going to happen because Virgil Hawkins' Static Shock, I believe, is a more not relevant character. He's pretty much a relic of the 2000s, I feel. And so I don't know if Warner Brothers wants to bring him back unless it's going to make like $1 billion gangbuster money. So fans, you just let me know if that will be something you're interested in. And until then, I'll just make my own crossover with my rip-off OC characters. Well, I appreciate you guys sticking through my Static Shock review disguised as a speed paint, but honestly, I just enjoy this cartoon a lot, and I have connected to it in the same way that I've connected to Amulet. And just like Amulet, it's inspired my own original work, as Static Shock has been a piece of media depicting Black people that's made me look into African American culture, particularly the parts that aren't well known. And one part of African American culture I've been looking into is hoodoo, which is a unique spiritual system created by African Americans. And hoodoo is the thing that has inspired Olamar's visual design and also plays a role in his backstory as well. And so anyone in the JCal Arts universe who would be interested in that, you let me know in the comment section. Maybe I might make a video or short or post about it on my YouTube page or on my Instagram. You can follow me at JCal Arts. And I know I haven't been busy as much because I have been busy behind the scenes, but I'm getting back to the swing of things. But I do want to knock Static Shock for one thing, and its depiction of Black women. So we have Daisy, the love interest, and his mom, who's passed away because she died from gun violence. And then we have his sister, who he tends to argue a lot with. Now, they do get close and have their touching moments, but that seems to be the predominant thing with these two. And then the other villainous Black women that exist in the show, and I've noticed there's a skin tone thing where the nice women tend to be lighter and the mean women tend to be brown and dark skinned. So low-key colorism to me, but anyway, I do appreciate Static Shock despite that, and a lot of Black media unfortunately has that low-key colorism problem, but that's gonna be enough for me, you guys. Thank you for coming and watching this speed paint, and let's see the final picture.